Hey, what's happening? I got this little thing I wrote. I finally actually wrote something. I'll be a little bit more coherent. Unfortunately, though, it's pretty long, so fuck it. If you're feeling impatient, then go somewhere else and go look at Shakira's new video or somebody getting hurt saying balls or whatever, something inane. Anyhow, let's go. As an atheist, I often get the creation thing. It couldn't have come from somewhere, nowhere. Someone had to make it all. It's a pretty shitty argument. To this, I would point out that it has a serious flaw. If one cannot believe that the universe and known reality could not have created itself, how then can one believe in a supreme being that created itself? That is to say, by the previous argument, how could God exist if things cannot create themselves? It's a fucked up paradox, and you guys are full of shit. Now, the belief in God is also strange because mankind, from its earliest known history, has had some sort of religious belief system. The worship of the sun, natural events, to the claims that gods visited mankind, had sex with mankind. Zeus created man from dust, clay, stars, gods, everywhere. All cultures have them, some form or another. Now, as we all know, humans have good imaginations mixed with an amazing ability to lie for various reasons, manipulation being at the top of the list. Interesting combination. That, and way back when we were very stupid in terms of understanding different points of view and weighing evidence and facts, survival was pretty much the only thing that kept us busy. Philosophy and science came later, when humans had more time to actually ponder the world instead of just living day to day in it. The origins of religion came just as all the other inventions of our race. Art, music, storytelling. What started as entertainment or a desire for expression became necessary to maintain in our minds. Like a stone axe, religion was a useful tool. It could ease the mind, it could lift spirits, it could create a vision of hope. But most useful, religion had the power to end annoying arguments. From it's the God's will, get back to work. God told me to get you pregnant. Do you dare defy him? God took a soul to a better land. Please leave a donation at the door. Religion was an answer to a desperate people who felt alone in a world of violence and chaos. All over the world, tribal elders must have realized that stories were the only way to keep us going forward. Whether they were true or not, didn't matter. If the story gets old, change it, rename it, speak it in a different accent. It's all the same. Now, the details from religion to religion differ, but many share the same core. Is it coincidence? Probably not. People have had a lot of time to see that being a good person is the best way to be. Did we really need a cosmic father being to tell us that? No. Do we need a cosmic enforcer to keep some people in line? Unfortunately, it seems so. So the stories will ever continue to an atheist's dismay. The problem is, though, religion is a funny story. The people that hear one story from one group tend to ignore or invalidate other people's stories. It's like storytime supremacy. One god's better than another, or worse. Some people even say there's no other god than the one that they worship. People talk a lot of shit about atheists, though, for not believing in God. But what about the people that don't believe in all the other gods that other people worship? As a Christian or whatever, monotheist type of person, I think it's safe to say that you don't believe in Zeus, Odin, Amun-Ra, Allah, Osiris, Ares, Gaia, for Wiccan people, African tribal gods, what have you. You're an atheist to those particular religions. You, like so many other people in the world, 80 to 90%, are religious elitists that think all other religions are either wrong, misguided, or delusions of the mind, or tools of Satan, or some other adversary. How is that not atheism to a certain degree? But your religion is the correct one because you were told to believe in it, and all the other sources of various religions were shunned, banned, checked out at the library, you had no interest in it, or worse, it was a sin to investigate other options. Interesting. I see a pattern that most people fail to see. As children, we are raised in one particular faith with very specific rules, and we are taught by family and society that other religions are wrong. Even other similar denominations, like Catholic versus Protestant, perfect example of nonsense. What are they even fighting about? They basically worship the same shit. Anyhow, it's all about context and content. It's crazy. Anyhow, my only point is that religion is overly biased about one angle of a much larger and more complicated story that we all share a part of. Different religions cannot realistically coexist in peace without a secular government intervening to keep them from killing each other, which is sad. Look at Israel. Religion is tearing that place into pieces. Jews, Christians, Muslims can't even get along. They all have the same fundamental teachings. The details isolate themselves as the we're the ultimate truth, no one else is equal club. That sucks, because none of them has any goddamn evidence to support any of their asinine claims. But here's a little detail. Jews believe they're the chosen people, but they don't believe in hell. Christians worship a Jew, but they believe in hell. Muslims think that Jesus was a prophet of Allah. They believe in hell, and furthermore, anybody that talks shit about Islam should be killed. Infidels. So that's kind of weird. When an atheist speaks, everybody's on the same side against the atheist. Well, at least we believe in God. We'll figure the other shit out later club. But when the atheist leaves the room, they go back to arguing amongst themselves. Funny, because to each other, they're all atheists too. Now, moving on. Speaking of atheists, something to consider for all you people out there might get mad at me, but technically speaking, as far as the true definition goes, all monotheistic gods are atheists. Jehovah and Allah are probably tied for the biggest asshole atheist. They don't believe in anybody other than themselves. They supposedly create themselves from nothing, and they're only accountable for themselves, and blah, 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 blah. Atheist. So, God is an atheist. Think on that one for a while. It's hard to argue. Now, to further the argument, it is implied in the Bible that mankind should strive to be like the divine. So, okay, sign me up. Since God's an atheist, I'll be one too. Last, as far as the Bible goes, realize that in the biblical times, human literacy in Israel and the surrounding Roman territories were only about 1.5%. Most of the entire population was poor and illiterate. So why then, get ready for this, drum roll, why then would Jehovah or any other asshole god speak to the people that could write, the minority, and command them to write for the people that can't read? Shouldn't it have been the other way around? Or better yet, couldn't he just talk to everybody in the same way the Bible characters did? Or claim they did? I don't know. It's all about faith, right? Well, faith is what the pastors and preachers tell you to kill your last shred of intellect. Doubt. Religion is about control and politics more than it has ever been about love and forgiveness. For simple folk like you and me, I think we're all pretty decent people. We don't want to rule the world. We know better. But some people, all throughout history, want everything they can get their greasy hands on. Religion and politics are perfect tools for those men as they fit hand in hand. And it's crazy. As an atheist, I make no claims I can't back up. So I rarely make any claims. How can we know who made us, or what, or why? Does it even matter? We can't even treat each other right. We can't even do anything right. We're too busy fighting amongst ourselves. Even our gods fight each other. The only solution I have for this world is to either take the time to research what everybody else is believing in, all the religious works, histories behind each one of them, understand how other religious people think and worship without bias, if you can, and realize the similarities and psychology of it all, because religion seems to be more of an invention out of necessity for the human mind and condition. And if we can kind of compare data of all other religions, it might enlighten us about our own, and we might actually take a step forward. Or you can just get straight to the point and reject religion entirely because it's based on prehistoric oral tradition that has evolved into automated socio-political tools of manipulation to influence and or control the masses for elitist gains. Whew. But how was the world made? It had to come from somewhere. At this point, people, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. All I know is that I don't have answers. I'm not that arrogant to claim I have answers. And the world's still beautiful. I'm thankful for my life. I know that being a good person gets rewarded by being noticed and appreciated by other good people, which is important. I can't prove God exists or does not, but if God existed, which one would I choose? Such a choice of chaotic choice made me choose not to choose. And I think I'm living all the better for it. If a God exists, I would hope that my doubt would not be a punishable offense. If that's the case, however, I would still be content for having lived as an atheist because I could never forgive myself for worshiping an overly judgmental asshole. Get back to me.